Winter weather is hitting much of the country now. At least 22 states are under weather alerts right now. Storms are slamming millions from Oklahoma to New Jersey. People in Ohio are getting snow. People along the East Coast, they're seeing rain right now.
Okay, we see a lot of intense video, and we're waiting to see what happens for us here in Utah, too.
Okay, but we do have some snow, and we're happy about that, Seth.
Yeah, we are happy about that. Nothing like what they're getting over in the east, though. Just a couple of snow showers. The mountains aren't doing too bad, though. Here's a live view from Snow Basin. You can see we do have a little bit of active weather, just a couple of flurries, nothing too significant, but it is fairly cloudy up there, so that moisture is going to continue pushing on in, and as you look at the radar, you can see just that. This storm is coming in from the west, moving over the Wasatch Front as we speak. I was just looking at some of the traffic cameras in the area that you see in the green. I wasn't seeing it reach the ground everywhere, so it is still Virgo, which is when it evaporates before reaching the ground, but not everywhere. We have a couple of drizzles. Same deal for the mountains. A lot of these places aren't seeing this snow, but some of the mountain tops are. Tooele and Rush Valley is getting quite a bit of precipitation right now, but again, we do have a dry layer, so it's not quite as intimidating as the radar makes it seem. Temperatures are starting to fall. We're in the upper 30s to low 40s across the Wasatch Front, so still a little bit too warm for rain, but we'll get there. 30s and 40s across the state through central and southern Utah. 46 degrees down in St. George, 42 here in Salt Lake. Over the next few hours, we're going to see those 40s drop to the 30s by 6 or 7 o'clock, and then we'll eventually drop pretty close to freezing right around ABC4 News at 10, at which point there's a pretty decent chance we do see that rain transition to snow, if it's precipitating at least. Futurecast shows that this evening it is going to be pretty spotty. A lot of it's going to be focused on the mountains and the Tooele valleys, but the Wasatch Front will get a couple of showers as well as we get into the late hours. Stopping this at midnight, hangs on to central Utah, northeastern Utah. And then in the morning hours, we could see a couple of showers here on the Wasatch Front, but most of it is going to be south of I-70 and east of I-15, mainly towards the Four Corners region. And then that high pressure builds by Wednesday night, and things are looking really clear for your Thursday, but still chilly. And then as we get into Friday, things start to change again. Another storm is going to be approaching, but it'll be just a little bit warmer than this one. Our snow accumulation, not too significant for the Wasatch Front, just a trace to an inch. The benches could get a little more at 1 to 2 inches, 3 inches for some of the best spots. Mountain valleys in the Wasatch back getting 1 to 3 inches, 2 to 5 for the northern mountains. The upper Cottonwoods could get up to 8 inches, however, overnight. Central mountains getting 3 to 6, and the southern mountains just getting an inch or 2, maybe 3, depending on how long that precipitation wants to stick around. Now, with all this fresh snow on the ground, it is important to keep in mind the avalanche danger. The resorts do not have any avalanche danger, but this is for backcountry skiing specifically. The northern mountains, as well as mountains towards the Moab area, are under a moderate risk for avalanche. So if you are going backcountry skiing, just make sure that you're prepared and that you go with a buddy. Our upper level futurecast walks us a little bit further. There's that low pressure system that's bringing us the active conditions we're seeing now. Starts to shift to the east, but the chilly conditions filling in behind it for your Thursday. Wintry mix on your Friday and Saturday as another system dips in, but it doesn't last very long. High pressure starts to build yet again over the western United States, bringing more mild conditions and acting as a storm block, and that high pressure is going to stick around after that. This is our 6 to 10 day outlook, and you see we are going to be well above average, and we're going to be drier than normal, so unfortunately it's not looking like we're going to be getting too much snow for the middle of December. Regional forecast shows tomorrow we're going to be just a couple of degrees cooler than we were today, which puts us a few degrees below average. 30s and 40s across the state with a mix of sun and clouds. Eastern Utah looking at some rain and snow showers, and we could again get some on the Wasatch Front in the morning, but it's not looking too likely right now. St. George is going to be warming up, eventually hitting 60 degrees by the close of the weekend. And we're looking at mostly sunny skies, really pleasant conditions. The Wasatch Front does have a chance of that snow tomorrow, but apart from that, it's looking like partly cloudy skies. Chilly for the middle of the week, but starting to warm up by the weekend. There's that storm system for your Friday and Saturday, possibly Sunday, but it is going to be warm, so we're not going to be getting too much snow from that, unfortunately.